Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Last time we learned about the life and teachings of Master Jim Hong Lu.
Mm-hmm.
If you're new here, you can catch up on that episode 1.
Yes.
But today we're doing a deep dive into a piece called The Meaning of Life.
Oh, fantastic.
Master Lu shares his perspective on finding purpose and fulfillment from a Buddhist point of view.
I'm really fascinated to see how his teachings apply to modern life.
Yeah, me too. And as always, we're a nonprofit educational resource just trying to help everyone explore new ideas.
Absolutely.
So this first paragraph in this piece called The Meaning of Life really just hit me. It says, in this world, there are two kinds of people. Exemplary people who are willing to take a loss, and morally debased people who constantly seek to take advantage of others.
Wow.
We should ask ourselves daily, am I being exemplary or morally debased?
Yeah, that's...
wow.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's interesting how Master Lu connects this to self-reflection.
Right.
It's not about labeling ourselves as good or bad. It's about examining our actions and how they affect others.
It's are we making the world better or worse?
Exactly.
And I think we often forget to think about that.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and not really consider the impact of our choices.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Master Lu is urging us to be more mindful, not just of our thoughts and feelings, but also the consequences of what we do. Even little things can have a ripple effect.
Like letting someone merge in traffic.
Exactly.
Or holding the door for someone, little things.
It's about creating a more positive energy.
Yeah. And that makes me think about another thing Master Lu talks about, this idea of detaching from worldly affairs.
Detachment. Interesting. Now, he doesn't mean we should just ignore the world or anything like that.
Right.
But rather that by understanding ourselves deeply and finding inner peace, we can then better understand and help others.
So how do you do that? How do we detach but not disconnect?
It's about finding a balance. A middle path between complete indulgence and complete renunciation.
So we can enjoy life, but not be controlled by it.
Exactly. Master Lu uses the analogy of a mirror.
Okay.
A clean mirror reflects things clearly, but a dusty mirror makes the reflection distorted.
I see.
So when our minds are full of attachments and desires, we don't see things clearly. We react without thinking instead of responding with wisdom.
So how do we clean the mirror?
It's a process of self-cultivation, mindfulness, meditation, and understanding our minds.
Makes sense. It can be easy to get overwhelmed by everything going on around us.
Right.
This idea of inner peace, though, that resonates with me a lot.
It's like creating a safe space within yourself.
Yes.
A place of calm in the storm.
Exactly. And then that peace can affect the people around us.
Right, like a ripple effect.
Oh, I'm starting to see how all of this connects. So we've talked about self-reflection and detachment, but how do we deal with a world that isn't always kind or fair?
That's a good question.
Master Lu writes, even when faced with hypocrisy and injustice, the most honest good thing is to maintain kindness. This is the conduct of a bodhisattva.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure all of our listeners are familiar with the term bodhisattva.
You're right. In Buddhism, a bodhisattva is someone who is striving for enlightenment, not just for themselves, but for everyone.
Okay.
They are compassionate and wise and always trying to ease suffering.
So even when we see negativity, Master Lu is saying respond with kindness and understanding.
Right.
That's hard.
It requires a shift in perspective.
Yeah.
Master Lu challenges us to see that everyone is going through something.
Oh, wow.
To understand that and respond with compassion instead of judgment.
So if someone cuts us off in traffic,
we
try to see them as a person who might be having a hard time.
Exactly.
Instead of getting angry.
Right. It's about remembering our shared humanity.
Okay, let's take a quick intermezzo to let this all sink in.
Sounds good. We'll be back in a moment to continue exploring Master Lu's insights on the meaning of life. Welcome back to the deep dive. Before the break, we were talking about responding with kindness.
Yeah, even when it's hard, like when someone cuts you off in traffic.
It's about remembering that everyone's going through something.
Right. And that actually reminds me of something else Master Lu wrote.
Oh, okay.
About how we're all connected. He says a person's life only becomes meaningful when it's connected with the lives of others. With them there is you, with you there is me, and with me there is them. This forms a circle.
Wow.
A primeval community.
It's such a beautiful way to describe our interconnectedness.
Yeah. We're not just individuals.
Right. We're all part of something bigger.
And what we do affects everyone else.
Exactly. Even small actions can have big consequences.
It makes me think about things like wasting food.
Oh, yeah.
It's like we're not even considering how our actions impact others.
Master Lu would say every action is a vote for the kind of world we want.
So it's not just about our own happiness.
No, it's about the well-being of everyone.
And about recognizing those connections.
Yes, and nurturing them. He actually says that enlightened people don't worry in times of difficulty.
Because they understand that suffering is just part of life.
Right, and that we're all in this together.
Wow. He writes, an enlightened person has attained a higher level of understanding. They are not worried in times of hardship, because they understand that everything in this world operates according to karmic conditions.
It can be hard to accept suffering.
For sure. We just want things to be different.
It's a process. Master Hu says it takes time and practice.
Self-reflection.
Yes, and mindfulness.
And understanding how reality works.
Right. He talks about finding a balance between increasing and decreasing.
I remember that. What did he mean by that?
Well, increasing means taking things too seriously.
Okay.
Getting attached to outcomes.
Gotcha.
Letting your happiness depend on what happens around you.
And decreasing.
Decreasing is the opposite.
So like apathy.
Kind of. Not caring about anything at all.
So the key is finding the middle ground.
Right. The balanced approach.
We acknowledge challenges, but we don't let them consume us.
Exactly. We can't control everything that happens, but we can control how we react.
And by finding that balance, we can actually influence our karma.
That's powerful. We have agency even when things are tough.
We can choose to respond with wisdom and compassion.
And work towards creating a better world.
I'm also curious about this line, this very mind is Buddha.
Ooh, that's a deep one.
What does that mean?
Master Lu is saying that enlightenment isn't something far away.
Okay.
It's within us.
We all have the potential.
Exactly. We just have to cultivate it.
Through our thoughts and action.
Right. He uses Confucius as an example.
Oh, yeah.
Confucius was known for being forgiving. And Master Lu says forgiveness is the foundation of compassion.
Because if we're holding on to anger,
yes,
we can't be kind and understanding.
It's like that saying, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
So true. It just hurts us in the end.
Forgiveness is about letting go of that negativity.
And being free to move forward?
Exactly, with a more open heart.
Okay. We've covered a lot of ground again.
We have.
Let's take another intermezzo to digest all of this.
Sounds good. We'll be back soon for the final part of our deep dive into Master Lu's teachings on the meaning of life.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking about some really powerful ideas from Master Lu.
Like self-reflection and compassion.
And interconnectedness.
Right.
Are you ready for the last piece of the puzzle?
I am.
Okay, so Master Lu also talks about respecting one's faith.
Okay.
And focusing on one practice. He writes, one must respect their own faith. It is best to focus on one practice. Learning everything will make one stray from their path and become lost.
I see. So he's saying it's better to go deep than to try to do everything.
Right. Like if you're trying to learn too many things at once,
yeah,
you're not going to really master any of them.
You get spread too thin.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that applies to anything, not just spiritual practices.
Right.
Like learning a new skill or starting a new hobby.
Focus is key.
It is. You need to be dedicated.
Absolutely. Master Lu is saying that if we try to do too much, we become vulnerable. We can lose our way.
It's like we need a guiding principle.
Right. Something to keep us on track.
And then we can be open to new things.
Yes, but always with that central focus in mind.
Master Lu also uses this word expedience.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I fully understand it.
It can be tricky.
He says expedience is the flexible application of Dharma. It is the method used to adjust to different situations.
So it's not about taking the easy way out.
Right.
It's about being adaptable.
Finding the right approach for each situation.
Exactly. Like a jazz musician improvising.
Oh, yeah. That's a good analogy.
You have to be able to adjust to what's happening around you.
It's like problem solving in general.
Right.
There's no one right answer.
Sometimes you have to be creative.
Try different things.
And be willing to change course.
Exactly. Master Lu is encouraging us to be flexible.
To go with the flow.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
What are some of the key things you're taking away from this deep dive?
Well, for me, it's the importance of self-reflection and compassion.
And interconnectedness.
Yes, remembering that we're all connected.
And finding that inner peace.
Absolutely. And having the courage to face challenges with a clear mind and an open heart.
Well said. That about wraps up our deep dive into Master Lu's teachings on the meaning of life. We hope you found it helpful.
I did.
As always, you can find more information and links in the show notes.
And be sure to email us if there's a topic you'd like us to cover in a future deep dive.
And before we go, we'd like to leave you with one final question.
Okay.
If Master Lu were to offer one piece of advice for finding meaning in your life, what do you think it would be? Think about that as you go about your day. And until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.